Hello, Emerson. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Fine. Thank you.
How are you? How you've been?
Quite fine. But I
Good.
1 month ago I have have some I had some disease. I got I was infected by the coronavirus one
Oh
month ago.
no. Oh
Yeah, but
boy.
I'm now returned.
No, no, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
safely returned. Yeah.
Good, good, good. Good, good. Well, that happens, if you travel a lot, and I'm sure you do,
Yeah.
um, you never know.
Okay. Hi.
Hello.
Did you put my proposal in the agenda or?
I didn't get a chance, but that's okay. We will just announce it. That's fine. I did see your email, so we are going to do it. One of the points of the agenda is, I think, that we are going to ask for updates, brief reports on the current situation in the chapter. So number 5, um, you will be able to
Okay, okay. Yeah, I
do it.
understand.
Yeah.
Can you see me? Hello?
Yes, thank you. Oh, good to see you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in China. Because I'm using a phone, it's difficult to connect through Zoom,
Mhm.
or Go and so on. So I just using a phone, with some Hong Kong prepaid phone card. So I just wonder, whether you can see me, because I can't see myself, in my phone. It's strange.
But we
Can
can
you see
we
me?
I can see you very clearly. So that's the good
Okay, and
option.
can you listen me? Listen, yeah, then that's good. That's good enough, right? That's good enough. Right? Thank you. I'm now in my new office in China, a mainland university. I just started the appointment last month, right? So it's about 1 month, right?
Okay.
So I'm now in China, not in Hong Kong.
Mm.
Uh,
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes,
Hello.
we can hear you.
How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
Haven't seen for a long time, huh?
Oh, I see.
Emerson, is it cold in the East Coast, United States?
Yes, I'm in East Coast, United States. Yes, I'm in Maryland.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It should be East Coast, right?
Yes,
Maryland, huh? Baltimore, right? Are
correct.
you at Baltimore, right? Yeah, that's
Uh,
right.
yeah, I'm closer to
I think so.
Washington,
Your office, right?
D.C. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I've been there before. I remember.
Okay.
when I have lots of support now to travel around, and now I'm starting to have lots of support again. Right? Luckily. Huh? So I may come to not to Baltimore, but to Vancouver, BC, for the annual conference in November, October, something like that.
Test.
Hello, James. Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome. Cool. Sorry, it wasn't working at first. I was making
Mm-hmm.
sure it was working before we got to the that part of the agenda.
Let's give a couple of minutes. I think Chris is going to join us. I spoke with him yesterday, and he was saying that he will be able to join us. He's the same time zone as I am. He's in Delaware,
Yeah,
just 2
but he's
hours
at home,
away.
right? He's at home.
He's at home.
He's not at
Correct.
office, right?
No.
His home is Virginia or something like that. He lives quite far away, right? Maybe 1 hour drive, right?
He is from office. He's about 2 hours. He's in Delaware.
Yeah. He told me he lives quite far away, right, from the
Mhm.
office. Right?
Correct. That's
We were
correct.
good friends, right?
Still meeting people. And just a reminder, I think there was a message at the very beginning, but everything is being recorded. We always record those meetings for note taking and
Oh, that's fine, no problem. That's
yeah.
no problem.
Okay.
Certainly, no problem.
While we are waiting for others to join us, there are still people in the waiting room trying to connect. Can I ask everyone to put in the chat their name and chapter they represent? It will help me with the note taking.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So how to put the chapter's name, right?
Good question. On the phone, I don't know, but I will remember
Yeah,
that
I
you
can't do
joined,
it
so that's
on the
okay.
I can't do it in the phone.
So that's okay.
Because, I just find how to act in the name, but I can't do it. Sorry about that. I can't do it.
That's all right. Just going to give one more minute for others to join. I'm hoping that Chris will join. If not, and his loss. It's a lot of fun with you
Wait for the
guys.
fourth verse, right? Like Chris John, right? He's important, right? Important person. Wait for a while. It's okay. Right? It doesn't matter.
Better 90%. Connected. R01. Andy.
Okay, it's 5 minutes past the hour, so let's start. The agenda was sent along with the invitation and the minutes from the past meeting. Can we all agree on the current agenda? You can just wave your hands as a yes. And are there any questions or additions to the minutes that were sent? I know that the last meeting was not very well attended because of the scheduling. It overlapped with New Year's festivities in Asian countries, so that's why we were really a skeleton crew last time. But our next following this meeting, we will probably way past the New Year's festivities and should be okay from then on. I don't see any comments, so we can move on to our main presenter today. So I know that all the chapters, especially the new chapters, always strive to attract followers, new members, and just spread the word about the chapter and its existence. And you are always looking for the effective ways to do so. And there is a free tool that all of us are probably already using, but you probably don't even realize how helpful it might be to grow your chapter. That's why I have invited James, who is from Dallas-Fort Worth chapter, and he will present to all of you tips and tricks how to use LinkedIn to grow your chapters and chapter followers, how to reach out to this big audience that is on LinkedIn in ways you probably didn't realize exist for free on that platform. Dallas-Fort Worth has been inactive in the past for a couple years, but then the new leadership restarted the chapter, and the membership, thanks to James and his actions on LinkedIn, grew exponentially. So without further ado, James, you can take over. I will stop sharing my screen so you can start sharing yours.
Awesome. Can everyone hear me okay? I take that as a yes.
Yes, James, yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay.
And if you have any questions along the way, please put them in a chat, and James will answer towards the end.
Okay.
Yep, in the beginning, I will ask some questions, and I guess I'll actually just start that right now before I share my screen. Either please place it in the chat or show of hands who has a LinkedIn or had a LinkedIn and actively uses it today.
No.
Let's see, one hand so far, couple more, awesome. Has anyone never heard of LinkedIn before?
I've heard it. I have entered some sites, but I don't have my own account myself. I'm
Okay,
Yutaka Kobayashi from Tokyo.
awesome. Very cool. What I'm going to share is just some information on it, how it's really data driven, not as much as of a social media platform as a lot of people think. How you can use the data in LinkedIn to grow your chapter, grow your personal connections in your own professional line of work, and really how it can help you out in a lot of different ways. But in for this purpose is in how to grow a chapter, utilizing it with minimum time, because in the fire protection industry, we all have a lot going on at all times. How this can be a tool to assist your chapter and let people know you are there. And I'm not sure where to share my screen. I think right here. Okay, and we'll get into it.
Should be a green, like a box with arrow.
Yeah, I think I found it. All right.
Okay.
Do you guys
Perfect.
see this?
Yes.
Perfect.
Cool. Awesome. All right, we'll get into it then. If anyone has any questions at any time, please tell me to stop. And hope this helps out. If there's anything that you want clarifying on or anything like that, just let me know. A lot of this is based on true data I'm going to share from what our chapter did. And as Ava mentioned, we did, as a chapter, we went into kind of a recession. So we had about 12 active members about a year and a half ago. Today we sit over 100 members strong. We got a
Wow.
gold award this year. And we came from really only having about 10 of us that were active. Actually, tonight was our annual Christmas party, and we had about 40 people show up, which 2 years ago we wouldn't imagine would have happened. And a lot of different things played into that. One of it was just letting people know that we were starting back up. Is just explaining that the chapter is being active. We're starting with networking events, and I'm going to share some strategies we used here. A little bit about myself. So I went to school for marketing. That was initially what my education was in. I grew up around fire protection and life safety and ended up taking this path into a business development role where I work with as a manufacturer's representative. But my core background in education was marketing. So that's what I brought to when I joined the SFPE chapter. One of the things that I learned in college in marketing was specifically on LinkedIn. So I was fortunate to have a professor who was extremely active in LinkedIn and was able to explain some of the nuances behind it and some of the more the things that you don't really realize are there. We were able to learn. We used it in real time when I made a move from Massachusetts to Texas for my career. And this, I explained this because when I moved, I was posting on LinkedIn, but no one who was seeing my posts was in the area I was moving to. So say you move cities or move to different areas and join a different chapter and you're posting a lot, but everyone who's seeing it isn't in the intended area you want them to see. So one of the things LinkedIn does is help you grow your network strategically based in areas. And that helped a lot when I moved from Massachusetts to Texas. And then I joined SFPE and got involved with leadership. This presentation I'm giving today, I gave a couple months ago at the national conference for the Chapter Leadership Forum. And I typically give this presentation to CEOs and different organizations to help them build their own LinkedIn marketing schemes, just because I think it's really useful information and it's all free. It's all right under your fingertips. Just gotta know how to find it. Any questions? Cool.
Can you be a little bit specific about your relationship, your background, and the fire safety? Can you be a bit
What I
more
do?
specific about? Yeah. Why fire safety? Are you doing this for a fire safety society anyway? What?
So I used to
I'm very
work for a
much.
manufacturer.
Uh-huh.
And what I was doing was smoke control, so smoke control systems. And now I work
Oh,
with
that's
UV IR flame detection, and I work in specialty detection in hazardous spaces. So my relation to fire safety is I work a lot on that side. That's what brought me into SFPE 3 years ago.
oh, so is that so? Okay. Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, it's why you're here. That's why I do like fire protection. All right. So I asked if people have LinkedIn. If you'd like to, please type in the chat and bring up what comes to your mind or what do you think LinkedIn is, even if you don't know about it, based on what you've seen or what you've heard. What is LinkedIn to you?
Mm. Okay.
A lot of people say social media. A lot of people compare it to like Facebook. There's a lot of different takes or opinions on what LinkedIn is, and I'm just curious what anyone else here thinks.
Okay.
So what it is in reality, it's a lot of different things. So LinkedIn, by design, was for career involvement. Oop, I got chat. Networking portal. Yep, that's correct. So what it was designed to do was it was kind of like to recruit for business owners to find employees and for employees to meet business owners. Originally, that was the design of LinkedIn. So it was originally designed for looking for a new career, but also for networking. Now, in reality, what the platform is, it's one of the most powerful and accurate databases we have in the professional world. The reason being is it updates constantly what people's careers are, contact information, where they're working, where they're located, and what company they're at. And this is constantly updated for no cost. It's what LinkedIn is. It's a database that uses search engine optimization, SEO. So it's not as much as just a social media as it is one, in my opinion, one of the most powerful databases in the professional age, for any industry you're in. It can be used as a networking tool. And it's really, really good for introductions and expanding your network based on interest. So if someone's interested in, say, going into a specific field, or like if you want to get in from smoke control to flame detection, or if you want to get into a new type of business, commercial to industrial, you can use LinkedIn and leverage your first and second connections to get into that type of field. And I'm going to show you how here on my next slide. So on LinkedIn, so if anyone has their LinkedIn and wants to pull it up, you can follow along. Here's just a example of the power of it and what you can do and what you can use it for, not attached to chapter growth. So this is just an explanation or a demonstration of LinkedIn and the power of the database. So I'm using my profile for an example here. So on every profile, you'll see you have your connections. You can click on your connections, and that will pull up this bar where you can decide if you want to search with filters right here. Now, searching with filters allows you to go through everyone you're connected with and have and select people in specific areas. So say you're traveling from California to Massachusetts, or you're traveling from a different country to another one. You want to see what colleagues you have in that area. You can go to your connections. You can select search with filters, and you can choose that area to see if you have any colleagues that are in that space and you have some time to go meet with them. That's one of the reasons. Now, if you're moving to a new area, you can select second connections and start connecting with some people you might have a mutual colleague with, and you want to expand your network and start meeting more people in that area. That's actually originally how I found this SFPE chapter, was through connections, and I got invited by one of the original founding leadership members. And you can get even more specific with it. So what you can do is you can go to your search with filters, you can choose second connections, and then in a specific area, and it'll show you the amount of results. So how many second connections you have in that area. So for me, I have a lot in Dallas, Fort Worth, because that's where I operate. You can get more specific with it and say, I'm looking to see what mutual connections I have in the United States Air Force who are also in consulting. So if you're looking to do a specific project with somebody, or you're looking in a specific area, or you want to start connecting with people who are in insurance or some other industry, you can actually go in your own network and see what you have in common and start reaching out and introducing yourself to people. This is a great way to grow your own network, but also will lead into why this platform really helps with growing network, because this is just the power of it just from a personal use. This is something that's always been there, and a lot of people don't realize. If you do the search with filters, you can actually sort through the database yourself and have the custom tailored information based on what plays best for you. Another thing that I use at the bottom of my about on my personal profile, I write my common misspellings for my last name. The reason being, since LinkedIn uses search engine optimization, if you spell your last name wrong, or maybe there's a different spelling and people misspell it often, they can still find your profile. Using the analytics of LinkedIn to make sure your profile still pops up when people are looking you up. Any questions here? This is a lot. I'm curious if anyone's used this before, have seen it. This is something that can help in your personal career. But also can help you connect with other engineers or people who would be a part of the chapter in your area. Cool, we'll keep going. So chapter engagement and growth. So what I just kind of shared was how LinkedIn has the database, the analytics, and the different tools to help what it's meant to do, right? It's meant to introduce people. That was the original design, or using like original intended purpose of LinkedIn was to connect people, and it still has that in its DNA. Now, using it for chapter engagement and growth is advantageous for a lot of reasons. One is the power of the database, what we kind of just went through there. It'll, in order to grow a chapter page, and I'll go over everything from starting a page to getting it moving, but in order to grow it, you need to have leadership bought in. So the leadership team or the chapter team should be working together and inviting their connections and start building the foundation of the chapter. That's when you'll start seeing the chapter on LinkedIn, and more people will end up following it and engaging, and it helps it grow. The strategies can differ on chapter size. So I'm going to go over the different strategies today too. For us, DFW, when we were smaller, our strategies were a little more simple, just getting engagement and just letting people know our chapter was active. And that really helped people start showing up and joining us, because before, a lot of people thought the Dallas-Fort Worth chapter kind of fizzled out because we've been inactive for 4 years. Once we started getting active again, the number one message we wanted to share was, we're being active, we're doing things, please come join us. Posting with a purpose is one thing we'll talk about too, is the content. The content you use is important. It's the brand of the chapter, and it starts getting it's what's going to be shared and what's going to bring more people in. And adding links. So I asked earlier, how many people have a LinkedIn? How many people have a website? Show of hands or messages. Do you guys have websites for your chapter? I see nodding heads. Oh, I see a raised hand. Adding links to your website is great. You can land viewers, land engagement to your website. If you don't have a website, not a big problem. Use LinkedIn as your landing page. I mean, there's a lot of different people on it, nationally, internationally. Use LinkedIn as your landing page to start bringing people in. We're in a digital age now where you could do Zoom meetings or host a Zoom meeting for your chapter and invite people across the country in. There's a lot of different things you can do there. But if you do have a website, you want to connect the two, because when people are viewing your LinkedIn, it will bring them to your website. And the content you use can range based on what you're messaging and what you want it to be. So if you want to bring people to your website, you want to increase membership, lunch and learns, networking, committees, these are all different things you can add to your scheduling and posting. But I think what's important when you dive into LinkedIn is kind of think, what do I want to get out of this? Do you want to grow, or do you want to start adding new members, or start adding to different parts of your chapter, whether it's committees or specific events? But there's a lot of different ways to do it. So starting at the beginning, when you start your page, keep it simple. It doesn't have to have too much information on it. Just the overview can be simple. The website, if you have one, land it to your own. But keep this simple and clean. I suggest making a little logo with your chapter's name under it, kind of like ours is here. An app I recommend for quick little digital editing is called Canva, Canva. It's super easy. You can save your color palettes. So when you upload, like say the SFPE logo, it will actually match to that color, and you can start adding different things. I have no digital creation skills, and it makes it really easy for me. So I really like Canva. It makes making little flyers and stuff super easy. If making a page for the first time, add multiple admins and emails. I made this mistake with a different organization. I had one admin, then that admin got a different job, and we lost access to the email because we used that admin's company email. So add multiple different admins, or use a different email that you're going to keep, or make an email for the chapter. But if you use someone's work email and they take a different job and they switch their email, you might have an issue getting back into your profile. So just speaking from experience there, if you do have a chapter, make one and it goes inactive, just keep in mind it could hurt the public perception of the chapter. So having a LinkedIn page is good, But if it's not posting for 6 months, say I'm in the area and I was curious about the chapter, I would assume it's not an active chapter because the LinkedIn hasn't been active for 6 months. So just keep that in mind. If you are going to get one going, you want to have internal conversations of at least keeping it monthly. If you can't do every week, and I'll talk about scheduling. But I've seen it a lot. Some really big organizations or really big chapters having very inactive LinkedIns. And at my first glance, I would think that they weren't an active chapter anymore, just because that's what I'm seeing on the public perception. So just keep that in mind. So you have once you get a profile made and an account for LinkedIn, content posting is important for engagement. This is what will bring in new members, new chapter members, people who might be interested, new followers. I suggest do not post more than 2 posts a week. This is a personal preference on it. Using the analytics of LinkedIn, if you tend to do more than that, you could get kind of shadow banned in a way, and your analytics won't be great. I also think having a schedule makes it easier, so you know what to expect, especially when you're getting started. Maybe pick 1 or 2 days. But what we do is we try to have a post Monday or Tuesday, and then the second post Wednesday or Thursday. We do not post on weekends, and we try not to post on Friday unless we really have to. Another internal rule we use just for our chapter and how we've kind of done it, with social media marketing, especially as you start getting more and more followers, we use what we call the rule of 2. So we have right now myself and the president, each of us will write them and post them, and we review each other's work. It's good to have 2 different people, so it's not one person's voice the entire time. So it's kind of a mixed messaging. You have 2 different people, but also for peer review. Now, if you have the entire board of 5 people review, it takes a lot longer to post. So we usually have a rule 2 for peer review. Canva, what I mentioned earlier, I'll show some examples what I've used with it. It's awesome. You can save templates and just edit them as you go. Makes this really easy because once you have a template, you change it for what you want to do that week, you can schedule it, and all of your LinkedIn posting could be done on a Monday. People love pictures of real people. This is a great idea for content. If you're putting on an event or you're having a chapter meeting and you have some colleagues around, take a picture and post it. It plays really well with engagement. And also, if someone's wanting to join the chapter and curious how the events are, they can look at pictures of it. So posting pictures of events, lunch and learns, educational seminars is great to have on there. Message consistency and links. These are things that kind of went over. Also, and this is one me and Ava talk about quite a bit, tag SFPE when you're starting off and you don't have a lot of followers yet or different members and you're trying to get it going. Society of Fire Protection Engineers LinkedIn page has like 10,000 followers. And as a chapter of SFPE, tag them and interact with SFPE because that will help your first, second, and third connections start seeing your profile. Think of it like a web, right? When you start interacting with the bigger profiles and chapters, more people see it. For instance, when I repost a Dallas one when we were getting started, we were getting more views because I had more followers than the account did. So using accounts with more followers will help your growth. So here's some examples of content for attendance growth. So using pictures. So here was an educational seminar where we had 4 subject matter experts doing a board discussion. We took a picture, we tagged them. So tagging them helps us get their networks in the post as well. And shared the event, but also shared what the next event was going to be. So using LinkedIn and on this one post, we got new networks involved and we shared what our next event is that we want people to show up to. Another example is this one right here. We did a different educational seminar, but we added a link to where to register and tag the person. We had a QR code, so it was very easy to register. And I think a key thing to keep in mind when using this to start getting new people to show up to events, when you have an email list, that email only goes to the intended audience. It only goes to the person whose email it is. If the email changes or something happens and it bounces, that person isn't connected anymore. Using LinkedIn, you're connected to the person. So even if their email changes or wherever they go, as long as they have a profile, your message will always get to them. And also can get to other people where with an email, that's unlikely. So when you're looking to grow and add more members and expand networking events or whatever, LinkedIn allows you to get into a much bigger audience and is not just going to the intended audience of the list you might have. Here's an example of a month schedule. So we started with really only a couple posts a month because we didn't have a lot to post about because we were still in our foundation phases and we were posting just about networking events and reposting SFPE. But this can be discussed on, say, a monthly, weekly meeting. So here's just an example, just for ideas and also just brainstorming. Like week 1, if we do our event at the end of the month, we'll post a week 1 event post and a membership post. Week 2, we'll do, say, a committee post and then the event post. So we kind of changed the schedule a little bit, putting one in the beginning and one at the end. And then we'll do like an industry post. And then at the end, we'll do like a recap of the event we put on. So we kind of have it falling out and then we repeat it for next month event. Just an example, it differs in size and it also differs in the message you want to do. If the message you're looking to portray is adding more just engagement and letting people know that the chapter's out there, I would suggest maybe a post about membership saying, hey, we have a chapter, a picture of the logo. We would like you to join, and then maybe another post about like an SFPE event or reposting what the national SFPE account is posting. And that will help build engagement. And just what I'll show here is the organic engagement from following a schedule, from staying 2 times a week. So the data from this post was, and it's nice because it's been about 1.5 years now since we really started this experiment. This is over a year. And this was, during this time, the most followers we ever had was 461. We had over 1,000 reactions and we averaged over 2,000 impressions, basically most of the year, with only 400 followers. So impressions and engagement is different, but this reach was just 2 posts a week over a year. It's not going to change in one day. As you can see, it was kind of a slow start, but keeping the engagement up or keeping a schedule of using LinkedIn to reach this audience can really help a lot. Reposts and comments were huge for organic engagement, especially by yourself or anyone in the chapter. That helps a lot with growing a LinkedIn page. For the larger chapters who are looking to use LinkedIn for their event marketing, or even if you're looking for it for a like a local or smaller event, it's awesome. You can do an event post to get people to show up and to attend. It allows for research and exposure when someone's traveling. So what happens to us a lot in Dallas is someone might be traveling in for a project and they see on their LinkedIn that we have an event this week and they just stop in and say hello. So exposures or sharing your events really helps maybe people coming by when they're around or in the area or the city where you're hosting your event. And it allows for that larger reach I was talking about, leveraging second connections. The email only goes to the intended audience. Event posts do well with counting your head count. So if you're doing an event, you know how many people are going to come. You can check your event posts and people actually can register, and I'll show you that next. This gives leadership the tools to expand in different personas or segments to start getting, if you want to work with fire marshal or government officials, or if you want to start working with some more integrator fire alarm contractors, you can use the events to tailor to that type of group. Always tag the speaker, in my opinion, the speaker in the company that might be speaking at your event, because they typically have a larger reach and they help more people see the account. And this is an example of a couple of things. So this is an example of an event post. And also that app I told you guys about, Canva. So I made this on Canva, just the logo of where we were meeting, put our name into the same color, and then a little backdrop. Super quick, super easy, took 5 minutes. Put an event together with the address where we were meeting and the time. And that's it. And you post it 3 weeks in advance. People will register, say they want to go to the event. It gives everyone a reminder who registers about 2 hours before the event starts automatically. And we found this very powerful for getting us back going. We would meet at like a brewery or a restaurant. We tend to use places that were a little more free and you didn't have to sit down, that you could all meet and sit around and talk. And we just kept doing that until we built a big enough following that we could get into more of our bigger educational events. But this is how I recommend is a really good way to start engagement. Personas marketing. This is something we Ava actually talked about at the national conference last year. In different personas, as in like the fire alarm integrators or the fire marshals, authority having jurisdiction, vendors, subject matter experts, adding different groups. LinkedIn allows you to do that. And I'm going to share an example here that we use for government officials, the fire marshals in the area, that we use we have a outreach committee for that group, and we wanted to put on an event where our FPEs would present to the fire marshals. And we looked at our followers, and so this is all data you can download on your own account just to see what it's at to understand before you're going into. And what I'm going to share here is we should have done this before we put on this event because we would have understood our data better. So we thought we had enough reach for the AHJ Fire Marshal Committee based on how many followers we have. And we did have a lot of followers staying to the schedule that we were doing. The schedule was, as you can see, pretty steady growing. A couple weeks, we keep getting people trickling in, all organic engagement just by posting, staying active. And we put on an event, and we got a lot of help from a local organization, also on LinkedIn, that was for the fire prevention professionals or the fire marshals and authorities having jurisdiction. Now, they helped us a lot because they post on their LinkedIn telling people about our events and they showed up. If we didn't partner with them, we were having a hard time getting that reach. And I asked myself, why were we not getting into that reach? And one of the main reasons was I didn't look at our data. So your data on LinkedIn shows you your reach. It shows you where people are located and also what do they classify their business in, or what do they primarily do their work in. I wish I looked to see how much public safety or government officials we had before setting up that event, relying on our LinkedIn reach. So you'll see here, like if we wanted to do an event for oil and gas, it probably wouldn't go that well because I only have 7 people that classify in oil and gas. Our biggest reach is where we're located. That's good. And we have people in different areas. These are good things to look at, especially for some of the regions that cover a bigger distance or a bigger area. So you can see where you're, where the most people are. Where's everyone congregated? What's your hotspots for presentations? And what groups do you have the most to? When looking at scheduling an event or a speaker, you want to make sure that it's a speaker that people want to listen to or follows what their background is or their education or discipline is. Is it a sprinkler heavy group, or is it a fire alarm heavy group, alarm enunciation group? These are things you can find out on your followers. So when you're posting, you know what your reach is or what you want to add more of. Do you want to target oil and gas like we do? So we post things about oil and gas education to see if we can get more interest in that community. This is all downloadable on the account that you make or you already have. I would suggest that if your chapter has one or has had one for a little while, to just take a look at it, see what your current data is at. And consider it for what the next steps are, or what's the next plan for the chapter, or what your Yeah, really what your plan is. If you want to get into a growth stage or if you want to get back into a revitalizing stage, this is a great place to start. A successful LinkedIn page or to utilize this for chapter growth, it really comes on to the team, the leadership team and everyone to be involved. They're the ones who get the page started and kind of come up with this plan and pass it down from leadership to leadership. Inviting connections and other industry professionals is one of the best ways to grow a page with organic interest. The reposts and interactions are huge for growing your page. And just 2 to 4 people, or 1 to 2 people, really can really grow a page. I mean, when we started the first data I showed you of the constant growth, that was four people, really helping each other out, once a week. With only 2 posts a week, but it might start with not a lot of engagement, but it will trend you in the right direction. Just trusting the analytics of the platform, because as we talked about in the beginning, LinkedIn really is a database. They use SEO. So once you have a strong analytic base in your posting and your content, it will help your page out and increase the chapter involvement. Thank you for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions. I know I threw a lot at. I am happy to go back and talk about anything.
James, thank you so much for this very insightful presentation. The first time I've heard that, I was pretty amazed that it contained so much data. Like most of people, I just thought it's just a platform for searching employers and employees, but it can be so much more. So I hope that it will help all of you to grow your chapters, grow your outreach, because you need not only members, but followers, and spread the word about profession and your chapter. I have Shayanka's hand up. Yes?
Thanks, Eva. Yeah, thanks, James, for the phenomenal presentation. We have our landing page on LinkedIn as well. I mean, that's the primary page we have. We don't have a web page yet. We just started a year and a half ago. But one of the questions I have is that when I try to repost certain stuff to the page, it goes through my profile. I search through Google, how to just get it sorted out. How do we do the reposting thing? Of course, we can post new things from the page, SFPE page we have. But when it comes to reposting, it always goes as under me, or it's just trying to go. So am I missing something?
I can talk you through it, actually. It's another one of those. It's like the filtering one I showed. It's so simple. And you wouldn't realize it's there. I actually didn't realize it till like 2 years ago. So if you go to any post and say, so are you an admin for your SFPE account?
Yeah.
So if you go to any post and you go to that little spot where it has your picture.
Yeah.
Is there a little arrow there on post? So if you go to a post and say you want to repost, you can click like where it says comment, where your little picture is under that post. You can select a different account.
Right. Just let me.
It's crazy. It's been there and I had no idea. But yeah, if you click, so you can switch the account and repost. Isn't that silly?
Man, oh man, I missed it. Yeah. Oh,
So
there you go.
you can, gotcha. So if you click that, you can switch it and switch to repos. And now this is a good thing to keep in mind, especially when you have new people taking admin, is explaining that, because one issue we had was we had a bunch of people who had access and they were reposting things for their own, but they were posting it as us, as the SFPE chapter. So it's a great thing to know, and especially to share when other people become admin, because it's very silly, but also can really kind of mess up the brand if you're reposting random things.
Yeah.
In your own account, you don't want to repost everything on your own. So
yeah, that's the thing, because we are trying to get the attraction towards the page, not to myself. But when I try to do that, it's always, what I do right now is, yeah, I create a link to my post. It's a weird way I'm doing it, which is not the best way, but yeah,
Here's another tip. If you're gonna repost something, sometimes it's better just to take the actual picture or screenshot it and post it as yourself, because LinkedIn will tag that as organic. Organic
right.
posts do a lot better than reposts. Reposts are the chapter's engagement, but if you're posting it as you, I would suggest to screenshot it and post it, because you're going to get better engagement. The only catch there, I'll say, if you're reposting something that has a lot more followers than you, then that might
Yeah.
be better for your engagement to repost. But a lot of the times, if you're the admin of the SFPE account, take a picture and post it organically on your own, because what was happening to me and the other admins, we were getting no interactions because we were kind of getting our analytics crossed because we were the admins. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. Thank you
Cool.
very much.
No problem. Thank you.
I see another hand up. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me ask you. My question is about the time you would spend to do all this. I mean, you have a number of people for the Dallas Fort Worth chapter, and I understand that the population is growing, and growing, and so there must be a lot of people working for. Some of the core members must be working for this, the whole thing, organizing the a message or updating database you are talking about. How, how often do you meet, or how many? Well, how much time do you spend to do the thing being maintained? And well, I'm just wondering if we can do this thing here in Japan, it would be very great. But I'm not sure if we can follow what you're doing here.
It's not as much time as you
Yes.
may think. So as a leadership team, we tried to meet once a week, for about 30 to 45 minutes. We're doing
That's
it a little bit more now because we have more people, but in the beginning, not as much because we had less, and all very busy. I mean, this industry is extremely busy.
Your example showed that 4-week program for a month, and week 1 you do something, week 2 you do this is the page.
So these are posts that you can,
Uh-huh.
so on LinkedIn, you can actually schedule them. So say on what I would do, so the way we broke up our leadership with roles and responsibilities, we actually have a chair now for marketing. So that's under my roles and
Chair. I
responsibility.
see.
Yep. So that's one of our
How many
leadership roles.
people are working for this marketing thing? How many people?
Me and Dylan, two of us right now,
To
just two of us doing it. For the most part. We all work on different things, but as far as creating the posts and scheduling them, it's primarily me. And I'll take about 30 minutes on Monday and schedule 2 posts every week, or
so
15 minutes on Monday in the morning. Just schedule the posts for the week, and that's my duty.
so there
And
has to be somebody who is very much into this type of thing. I mean,
You need a millennial or a younger.
we use
yeah, I guess so.
ChatGPT.
It's great. It's great opportunity to engage younger members of the chapter, I think, for that particular.
And I think that's a good thing to bring up too, because in my age, I mean, I grew up around the cell phone. I was in middle school when the cell phone came out, so I grew up around managing social media and posting and doing it. So a 15-minute post to me is pretty easy thing to add weekly.
Okay.
So I agree. Engage someone in the younger generation for a
Yes,
marketing role, because this is
Mhm.
something that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
And can assist your chapter in a lot of ways, and start building this online presence.
Okay. I'm already 64, 65, and but well, I'm just wondering if we can do the same thing here in Japan, but
Even if you
very,
start
very
once or
impressive
twice a
anyway.
month,
Very
just
impressive anyway. I was very much impressed. But
thank you.
I'm not sure if we can do the same thing. But we do have a homepage
So
as for the Japan chapter, and we're trying to probably Professor Sekizawa will provide some information later on after and to share with you our recent activities. So maybe we can talk about it later. But some of the our homepage will be provided later. But
We are
thing
not
I
so
forgot.
active like this. We are not so active like this.
but we are getting better, right?
No, we are not so active like this.
Yes,
That's what was
exactly.
chapter. Yeah.
Another thing I forgot to bring up is I don't know, working with universities.
James, can you hold
Sorry.
on? We have another question from Martin.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, you got muted.
I can ask my question in a minute. James, you just carry on with what you were going to say, and I'll come back.
Oh, I was just going to bring up universities. I forgot to mention, if you a great thing to engage is universities if you're working with universities, because that usually fosters a younger group in vertical. And if you're working with different universities, LinkedIn helps a lot getting into those groups and doing engagement or mentorship and fostering the education and the fire science. But go ahead, Mark. I'm good.
Thank you. James, I just wanted to say firstly, thanks very much for that presentation. I learned a huge amount, and I think probably most of the other people in the meeting
So
have done also. My question was very similar to Yotaka's, but I was going to just add a couple more questions on that too. I was just similarly going to ask how much time you spend each week updating the sort of LinkedIn profile. And I understand you mentioned about 30 minutes. Is that the sort of total investment, or is that just the investment per day?
Well, that would be for the week. So I would say it takes a little bit to get it first started, because we'll go back here. You want to get your post made in the admins. You really want to focus on this part when you're creating the profile, because this is your groundwork of what you want to scale and for many different leadership teams to come for your chapter. And then once you have that part done, it's really about inviting connections, but also sharing information. Now, an easy way to start building engagement in the intended group, like of the SFPE community, is by engaging with the national account. It doesn't take any time to do that, maybe a minute, just repost and like it, but just start getting active with the national accounts. Because SFPE Foundation, SFPE National, very active accounts. They post all the time. Starting getting involved with them, you're getting into those connections of people who are involved with the society. And then when you get into your own posts, I would say about 30 minutes a week. If you're doing an event post, that's for the whole month. Like you make it and it's up for the whole month. That might take a little longer just to make sure all the details are correct. But a lot of these, as you can see, like I'll talk you through it. It didn't really take too much time, because this one, for instance, I wrote thank you for coming. I extended a thanks to our speakers. I posted the information for our next event, and I posted a picture of the event. And this post got about 50 likes. And that was a lot of different people coming in. And it was just, it seems redundant just saying a picture and saying thank you, but these type of things really help build the content. And they really don't take that much time. It's just getting in the rhythm of it. Does that answer it?
Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, in New Zealand, I probably spend somewhere between an hour or hour and a half per week just crafting emails to send to our membership. But the email. I mean, we wouldn't normally send out an email to thank people for attending an event, but I can see the benefit of posting something where people can see the activity of the chapter regardless of whether they attended the event or not. And so I can see a huge benefit in that.
And if
My
they can
final
help
question,
for emails. Oh, sorry.
yeah, I was just going to say the final question was going to be, is it possible to get a copy of the slides from your presentation at some point?
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you. I've made a
Eva,
few
can I
notes.
send it to you?
The slides are really helpful.
And
Yeah,
also,
no.
I should also add that James is going to present specifically that LinkedIn or the features once more in January, but it's a probably time not really suitable for you guys because it's going to be at 9 a.m. Eastern time US, but we are going to nicely record it and we will make it available for all chapter on our learning management system, where I put all best chapter practices for you to use. So it will be available with, with all the recording and all the questions in January.
Perfect. No, that's fine. Thank you for that, Eva.
Also, reach out to me anytime. I'm on LinkedIn. Couldn't to be on LinkedIn. Reach out if you have questions, shoot me a message. Always happy to help. And yeah, if or even if you want to run something by me, or if it's something getting it set up. I mean, I work different hours. I cover a lot of different areas. I mean, I was good to do this time because I also cover different regions. I'm usually traveling and open to respond. Did I get all your questions, Martin? Those were good ones. And the timing one's it's a great question because yeah, it's gonna take a lot of time. You want to make sure you don't want to get into something that you can't keep going with.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's right.
But if you took that time from emails and put it there, I mean, it counteracts. But the other thing I was gonna say, if email is something you guys are comfortable with and want to keep doing and not just switch it all the way, on LinkedIn you can post like a link to subscribe to your email list or subscribe to your newsletter, or a form to add emails to your list if you want to do it manually. But you can use LinkedIn to farm some more leads for your email too. If you want to keep, if that's what you're comfortable with now, but and kind of test it, you can use it that way too. There's a lot of different ways you can utilize it. Any other questions?
It was wonderful presentation, James. Thank you. I don't think we have any more questions. So thank you so much. And we can go ahead and continue with the rest of our agenda.
Eva?
Yes.
Yes, I think Professor Chow has his hand up. He's holding his hand up in front of his camera. I'm not sure if that's
Oh,
a
I'm so
sign of
sorry.
question.
Yes, I didn't see. Pardon me. Yes.
Okay.
You are muted. Professor Chow, you are muted.
Yeah. Actually, I got a comment. This is a very good talk, right? So that we can promote the activities better. But the point is, certainly we need a secretary, right, or some critical assistant, right, to put in the data, right, to update, upgrade, and everything. Right? But I got a question: is how to say, or where can we get the information of the login? Right? Is that a SFPE developed software, or is it available in the public domain?
LinkedIn as in like the service?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an
So
app.
how to get the service? Yeah, how to get the service?
Yeah, it's a free application. So if you don't have an account yet, you can go to LinkedIn, create your own account.
Okay.
And that's how you can start, connect with your colleagues. You can start by looking up some people you may know, start connecting with them, and you can build your own internal network that way, and then create an event page. But yeah, LinkedIn's a public app that you can download and create your own profile for, kind of like a Facebook type deal.
Yeah, good. So it's free of charge. need not pay any maintenance fee or whatever, right?
Free of charge. They have a business version, and now myself, I don't pay for it because what I showed you on the free version, I think is
Yeah.
all you need. If you know how to use that sorting tool,
Good.
all the lead, they have a paid version that provides leads. I think the
Okay.
free version on LinkedIn is so powerful and just underused because a lot of people don't realize it's there. And
Well,
that someday
good.
they do
Because we
charge.
always
I hope
find
not.
difficulty to, yeah, good. Well, because we always find difficulty to get an appropriate engine, right, to put in the information. So it seems that LinkedIn is something, say, quite promising. And as you said, just spending half an hour a week or something like that, certainly it can be affordable, right, if you got some clerical or secretary assistant. Thank you very much. Thank you.
For your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the secretary position is also great for it just to get it going.
I think that it's a great opportunity for chapters to, like you, James, mentioned, to engage younger members and keep them in the loop in a chapter. Then you actually grow future leaders with that. You give them opportunity to gain some more experience, and they will be very happy to probably manage a piece of technology which they grew up with, because that's true. The younger generation, they have never seen a flip phone in their lives. It's they grew up with this technology that is available.
I couldn't afford the fancy one yet, all right? I did have a flip phone.
Again, James, thank you so much. That was
Thank you very much.
excellent.
Thank you for everyone's time.
Thank you very much.
So let's proceed with if I know Japan chapter has a brief report. So let's start with Japan chapter.
Ebo-san, I have a question first.
Yes.
We don't need to confirm the minutes of the previous meeting. We didn't it. We skip it. The number third.
Okay.
Confirmation. So
Okay, I did mention that minutes were emailed along with the agenda.
I see.
I asked if there were any additions or edits,
Okay.
but I heard
Yeah.
none.
Okay, I understand. Let's move on.
Okay,
Can I share my screen?
please do. Stop sharing.
All right. Okay. How to? I can't share the.
I stopped sharing. You should be able now. There should be a green rectangle with an arrow either on the bottom of your screen or on the top. We can see your screen now.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Quick review of the Japan chapter in 2024. Overview of activities of Japan chapter. Number of members is about 150. It's not so much changed in these years. We have official meetings, once general meeting a year, and the board meeting 8 times a year. We used to have seminars 4 times, but not this year, only 2 times. And standing working groups regarding a particular topics, we have now 3. But this year, Japan chapter joined the SFPE Fire Safety Conference and the Expo on Performance-Based Design in Copenhagen. And also, a Japanese team presented the case study at this conference. If time allows, Mr. Fukui will present some about this. Also, we are very proud of that Mr. Kiyoshi Fukui, one of our board members, received the title of SFPE Fellow in this year. Also, along with this occasion, we had a commemorative lecture by him upon a promotion to this SFPE Fellow. It's very unique, a very interesting talk. And we held a facility tour of Nobare. It's then not so exact meaning. Shimizu Corporation's new Technology Research Institute and the Historical Museum, and a town walk in Shimokitazawa, Tokyo, which is a park and the facilities above Underground Railroad. Finally, a joint seminar on fire safety in logistics warehouses was held in Korea by fire protection engineers from Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan in April. Our 3 working groups are doing for the fire safety of institutions for the elderly. It's very quite active. Also, evacuation using elevators. And the other one is promoting professions of fire protection engineers in Japan. Probably Mr. Kiyoshi Fukui-san will present us briefly about case study at the SFPE Fire Safety Conference. Japanese case study is on the workers' housing, and which is very unique, combining fire resistance and semi-fire resistance materials as a construction materials of wooden buildings to control the collapse direction of the building in the event of fire. This is the cover page of their presentations. And as I said before, Mr. Kiyoshi Fukui received the title of SFPE Fellow in 2024. It's one of 10 people in this year. I think fellow class members are less than 10% of all SFPE members. Another topic is facility tour and the town walking. This is a town walk in Shimokitazawa. It's like this. The other one is the facility tour in Shimizu Corporation, which is technology hub. And also inside this campus, there is a cultural heritage, which is former residence of A.H. Shibusawa. Now it's 10,000 yen new villa in Japan this year. this is the old house of Eiichi Shibusawa's who used to live. And we have the website of Japan chapter in English. Please visit to the URL in color and brown color. You can see we have a English pages, so please visit. Thank you. Is there any questions or comments? But Kobayashi-san, do you want to present us briefly about the facility tour and the town walk?
Before that, Mr. Cho has been raising his hand,
Yes.
Already?
questioning, probably.
Yeah, Saki-sama Sensei, good afternoon. I got a question for you. Is where did you put in the information of the Japanese chapter? Into your own website or put in the website of SFPE?
We do have a link
Can you
with
hear me?
the you can
So
search.
you have the information put in your own website, right? Put in your own website, not in the website of SFPE. Because it seems that SFPE give us some, say, space so that you can put in information in there.
We do have a link of the our homepage with the SFPE
Okay.
probably chapter page or something.
I see.
Japan chapter.
So basically, you put your information in your own website. Oh, I understand. Thank you.
Okay.
Understand now. Thank you.
I think what Professor Chow is also referring to is that we just started the chapter event calendar on our SFPE page where the chapters are. And I am going to send a newsletter on Monday with all the informations and links. How can you add your chapter's event to that calendar? It was not allowed before, but I asked our board that it's unfair that chapters should be able to share their events with other chapters. Therefore, I created that. It's a calendar on which I add chapter events on request as you request. So the information will go in the newsletter, which would be sent Monday, Tuesday for you.
Good. Thank you.
And you can also look at our website under chapters, and you will see a big calendar, and underneath how to request that your event is added to that calendar. It's growing in popularity. So I'm very, very grateful to you, Professor Chow, that you mentioned it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Eva. Thank you.
Sure. And I would like to extend my congratulations to Mr. Fukui for becoming a fellow. Indeed, that's an elite member type. Very, very few members achieve fellow because it's by nomination. You can't just choose it. It's by nomination. So congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm very honored to getting this title. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. We did have a big party to congratulate Fukui-san's fellowship. So we did have a very big party here in Japan.
Good.
So
Well deserved.
Exactly.
Thank you very much.
Okay. I wonder if there's if any other chapters would like to maybe report any activities.
I say something.
Professor Cho is raising his hand once again.
Yes, go
And,
ahead.
Yeah. Thank you. I just want to say that sorry, I didn't say too much in the past years because of the lockdown of the city, because of my retirement and low funding to sustain the critical work and secretarial work. Now, luckily, I got another new appointment in mainland. In the coming 3 years, I got full support to establish a research office with critical support. And I hope I can accelerate to put back the information into website and organizing some activity for the Asia Oceania area and welcome people to visit my new camp. This is a university at Chengdu, which is about, say, 40 minutes drive from the international airport. And we are organizing some international activities. I am welcome SFPE members and fellows to join us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
From Sri Lankan chapter, as I mentioned earlier, we are quite new, very new. Not sure whether we mentioned this before or not. We even doesn't have a performance-based code in Sri Lanka, so it's prescriptive. We are just starting to just spread the news around. So we are mainly focusing these days on the education aspects, transferring the knowledge we acquire. I'm working in Australia, so just trying to bring some of these best practices to Sri Lanka as well. So we had the launching event this year, earlier in July, and we will be having another sort of a smaller special session on fire safety in parallel with the international conference, which is happening in December. We are trying to accelerate and do more events in 2025. And we got some good feedback from the industry after the launching event, especially from some product manufacturers. They are willing to get engaged with us as well. So hopefully, if all goes well, somewhere towards the end of the next year or mid-2026, we are also thinking of having some sort of a event in Sri Lanka. And yeah, we will definitely invite everyone of the Asia Oceania chapter, as well as get some people from US if possible, Eva, if you're willing to fly 15, 16 hours. So, but yeah, let's see. We are hopeful with maybe not the next year, but towards the end of the year or 2026. Yeah, that's a small update from the Sri Lanka chapter.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to just add that if any, one of the goals of the SFPE board has been for the past year and will be next year as well, is to have a better engagement with all the chapters. So all the board members promised that if chapter requests presence of any board member, they will try to, if not in person, that at least through Zoom or Teams, attend one of the chapter events and maybe make a presentation and keep the engagement going. So if you would like a visit from a board member, let me know and I will make the connection.
That's great news. Thanks, Eva. Thank you very much for that.
Any other updates?
I can report briefly from the New Zealand chapter that we had our National Fire Engineering Conference in October. That was very well attended. That's a 3-day national conference held in association with the Fire Protection Association and the Institution of Fire Engineers, who represent the firefighters in New Zealand. That was a very successful conference. Unfortunately, it clashed with the conference that we were invited to in Malaysia, so we weren't able to attend. But meanwhile, in New Zealand, we had our own successful conference talking about all matters fire safety.
Mhm. Great.
Thank you, Martin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just wanted to remind everyone that we are the next big event for SFPE will be the European conference in Edinburgh in April. The registration should open Friday. So for you, it's today. For me, tomorrow. So, and we would love to have you over if possible. It's going to be a great conference. I know that the abstract submission was extremely competitive this year. We were able to accept a little bit over 30 abstracts, but over 150 were submitted. So it was very competitive. It's going to be a very good conference. So hope some of you can make that 16-hour travel to Europe. Well, a little shorter to Europe, and hope to see you there. So
Just
yes,
just in
go ahead.
case, the meeting is going to be held in Europe. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, April. This
April?
2025, April 2025.
Could you be specific about the location of the
Edinburgh,
Edinburgh?
Edinburgh, Scotland. Yes.
Oh,
April
Edinburgh.
9 through
Edinburgh.
10.
I see, I
Yes.
see. Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Edinburgh. I see. Oh, yeah. It's held in Europe. Edinburgh.
Yes.
So
It's our
it's the annual conference for the whole SFPE thing. I mean,
No, this is the every other year European conference.
oh, is that so? I see.
The next annual conference will be in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
Okay, Canada. I
So
see.
that one will be in October of 2025.
I see. Next year. I
So
see.
almost a year away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I see. I understand.
That will be 16-hour flight for you. It's very far away.
Okay. Okay.
Well, thank you very much for participating in the meeting today. I will record and post it on YouTube as I usually do for you guys. In the meantime, any questions, let me know. Any help you need, let me know. And please look forward to a newsletter that should come, well, Tuesday for you, Monday for me, with a lot of useful information and links. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you.
shall meet in 6 months, more or
Okay.
less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
James
Thank
is
you.
gone.
Everyone. Good to see you.
Take care.
I'm afraid.
Bye.
Thank
Emerson,
you.
I will send you the data of my presentation
Yes,
later.
please. So we
Yeah.
we can attach it. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you.
James is gone, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I just wanted to thank him, but it's okay. Probably
Okay.
it's late midnight
Thank you.
Yeah, it is almost
in
midnight.
Texas
Yes.
or someplace,
Yeah.
right? Okay,
Yes.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you very
Bye.
much for your
Take
hard work.
care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.